Brewster, Friend, Crabb, and Sander, the four names about to take the sand here on Stadium Court at Oak Street Beach. This is the Chicago Open on the 2022 AVP Tour. We are having a blast here just on the shores of Lake Michigan. This place has been absolutely packed from the start of the morning and now into the afternoon, where we are getting ready for men's quarterfinal action to take place. You see Taylor Crabb on the screen as we speak, and you got Cameron Irwin alongside Olympic gold medalist Dane Blanton up in the booth. So first men's quarterfinal, and it's a little bit of the Giant Slayers versus Crabb and Sander looking for their first title together here in Chicago.
Yeah, Brewster and Friend really upset everyone. Taking out the #1 seed is huge, and so the confidence level has to be absolutely off the charts. They're going to have their work cut out for them, because the Taylors are a team that have yet to win on the AVP, and they're very hungry.
Oh, yes, they are. And we've also got a look at the bracket now, as we've got Brunner, Schock, Brewster, and Friend. That was the match that happened last night. That was the last match here on Stadium Court. Brewster and Friend picking up that victory. Crabb and Sander picking up the win over the #3 seed of Dahlhauser and Patterson, who are still alive, yes, here in Chicago. Lottman, Partain, Bourne, and Crabb, that's our other quarterfinal. It'll be here on Stadium Court. But let's get you introduced to all four. Mark Sherman, take it away.
Oh, that was a fun one. That was a real fun match we just had, and let's do it again, shall we? Time to bring out a couple of teams, and you know, one of them, you look at the beginning of the weekend, it's like, yeah, they're probably gonna be in the final round of the winner's bracket. The other one, well, maybe not. Call it an upset, or maybe don't call it an upset if you're these two, because they say they are right where they should be. They are a team that we are just starting to learn about here on the AVP Tour. We need to get to know this guy a little bit more. His name is Tim. He's 22 years old. Are we single?
Yes.
Ladies, he's single. Anybody out there? I'm just letting you know, out of Los Angeles, California, a guy I think we're going to be seeing for a long time here on the AVP. Let me hear it for Timothy Brewster. That was awkward. That was weird. We'll figure it out. We got time. We got time. And his partner out of Boca Raton, Florida, been lucky enough to know this guy, well, really for quite a while now, and he is absolutely so good and really coming into his own, isn't he? Ladies and gentlemen, from Boca Raton, he is my friend, he is your friend, he is all of our friend, he is Kyle Friend. Come on. I don't know. I just want to know about him, Rich. And their opponents. The human highlight reel, both of these guys. This team just waiting to detonate at any moment, especially this guy who played in the Olympic Games, part of Team USA, and he is bringing that non-stop firepower to the sand, everybody. Let me hear it for Taylor Sander. And his partner, he's been groveling in the sand and making highlights since the time he was just a little boy on the baby court on the Outrigger Canoe Club. And now here to the sands of Chicago, multiple-time champion on the AVP. You know him, you love him. Let me hear it for Taylor Crabb.
Let's start off the men's quarterfinals with the Taylors versus Friend and Brewster, who took down Kane Scholk and Theo Brunner, who are officially out of contention now for the Chicago title, having just taken a loss to Buttinger and Field in the back draw. So here we go. Taylor Crabb, Taylor Sander. You've got Taylor Sander, the Olympian, at the service line, known for his service pressure and high-flying offense. And right on cue. The bug is all over the first. And there's the whip. I love when they introduce themselves in terms of their skill sets right off the bat, Dane.
They make you look like we know what we're talking about, right?
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
They cue it up for sure, and I'm so anticipating this battle just because of the athleticism and the defense, right? You got Taylor Crabb in the backcourt, who is so quick, but this 22-year-old Tim Brewster, making all sorts of noise, taking out the #1 seed yesterday, as you mentioned, and just playing with all sorts of confidence. It's so fun to see new players breaking new barriers.
So you actually had a chance to call that match last night. What worked for Brewster and Friend? What can we expect?
Well, it's these conversions, right? He brings it, but defensively, it seems like Tim Brewster has this real uncanny ability to get to the spot, know where the ball is going to be, and then he makes some spectacular digs, some one-handed stabs. It's pretty amazing. He's going to have to continue that today.
There's a solid wrist-away swing from Taylor Crabb. You mentioned Brewster. He's just 22 years old, originally out of Los Angeles, California. 6 feet tall. Taylor Crabb, 30 years old, out of Honolulu, Hawaii, and Punahou High School. A couple Long Beach State 49ers go head-to-head there at the net. Hello, Taylor Sander.
Let's talk about that joust for a minute. Right there, Taylor Crabb completely pushed as hard as he could into Friend right there, and that was a special joust. You don't see it that much where one guy actually ends up on the sand.
Sander with a big block. Now these two obviously getting together after the retirement of Jake Gibb last year. Sander coming from the indoor game, the Olympian, now finding his way onto the beach. He did train on the beach growing up, so it's not completely new to him. One of the best jumpers in the game. Helps him with those blocking moves, and Taylor Crabb wants that back. I know Paula Crabb's been roaming around all weekend long. Now in retirement. I asked her what she's going to be doing. She said, honestly, I'm not sure what's going to happen after volleyball season. I know where I am on the AVP schedule because I just follow my kids around, but retired from Punahou High School. She had taught for years and years, decades spent serving the youth there. There's Kyle Friend.
Those broken plays are going to have to be won by Friend and Brewster to overcome the veteran duo over there. Just a lot of experience. Even though that Taylor Sander hasn't been on the beach long, like you mentioned, grew up playing on the beach and all that international experience, it's fun to see the components of the indoor game he's brought to the beach.
You mentioned those, the service pressure as well as the jumping, the big arm swings. I think every single weekend we're waiting for that one swing that's going to send it to AVB Network somewhere on Instagram and light up TikTok with him sending the ball outside of the stadium. We haven't seen one yet in Chicago. Just waiting. You know that means he's due for one. I feel like Stadium Court, quarterfinal. Maybe this is it.
Why not?
5 apiece. They go on Sander. Is this the ball? Not quite the bounce, but still a phenomenal swing.
Yeah, he got up in the air, kind of turned and twisted his body to face down the line, and then just released the shot. So athletic is Taylor Sander.
Kyle Friend, former pro indoor player, looking for a shot, and just finds the sideline. He did his professional career in Switzerland, Sweden, as well as Germany. So look, their 7th event together for Crabb and Sander. Still looking for their first title together. And bye-bye ball.
Taylor Sander absolutely bringing it early here in the first set. Such a heavy arm, such a quick arm as well, and such a vertical leap. He's got all the tools that make for some serious fireworks.
I mean, yeah, you want to stuff block that, but man, is it going to hurt? Taylor Crabb up there at the net.
How about Brewster right there? That was not an easy set. He just kind of glided in there and just dished that ball up into position A right there for his partner Friend, and they're playing aggressive. What I like to see is they're coming in offensively very aggressive, and that is setting the defense a little bit on their heels.
Wow, airborne was Brewster. He was horizontal. And our upper deck nearly got to bring home a souvenir.
Yeah, what a beautiful dig by Brewster. Didn't even think he was going to make it there. It goes off the top of friend, and look at that. Full extension, leaves both his hands out there. A lot of players would have gone with one hand on that. He realized he could get there with two, which is the smart play. You're going to have more control. And it just makes the Taylors have to do another play to get the point. So make them work for their points a little harder and see what happens.
Crabb's all over that one. Brewster comes up with a gem.
Oh, and Kyle Friend could not deal with the spin on that ball right there. That ball had a ton of backspin after the dig by Brewster. A very difficult ball to set, but you have to try to take the spin out of it. And he played it almost straight up, and the spin got the best of him.
Now here's one for you. Solid storyline to follow in this one. These two teams have met previously. It was back in Atlanta in the heat and humidity, just like here in Chicago. Brewster and Friend went the distance, went 3 sets with Crabb and Sander, and they won 18-16. So slaying the Giants is nothing new for those two.
It's awesome. They're playing with confidence, and you know, I think that win that you just referred to, beating the Taylors.
I still don't know if that's the one. I don't know if that's the one. Maybe. I'm still waiting for one that bounces out.
This is pretty incredible right here. Facing cross court, he goes crossbody right down the line. Brewster standing there to play defense, but the ball's nowhere near it.
No, that's too sharp of an angle. How about that set? Oh, no man's land, or maybe both their lands. It was right in the middle.
It's a tough one. You almost want the two players clashing and both going for it. But Brewster's the one who can see a little bit better because Friend is turning. But that's one of those huge opportunities you got to capitalize on.
Brewster and Friend, 9 seed here in Chicago. They won both of their matches yesterday in 3 sets played. First over Drost and Frischman, the second over that #1 seed of Brunner and Schalk. We can actually take a look back at that big-time win over the #1 seed from yesterday. Here's Brewster, Friend versus Brunner and Schalk. Here's a look at Kyle Friend. Brewster and Friend with a set point in game 1, and they close it out in game 1.
Yeah, they were doing everything right, and they were being aggressive. That's why they have gotten to this point. Being aggressive, rip the ball, and then they were serving strategically as well. They kept going over to Brunner. They knew something about it, and Brewster had a read on it. Look at that dig right on top of the net, and they were pumped, fired up, and feeling it.
Speaking of pumped, fired up, and feeling it, that's Sander with the block. Thanks for the bridge, Dane. 12-7 now. 30.7 is the highest vert thus far for Sander, one of the best jumpers out here.
Wow.
That's wild. I mean, he's 6 feet tall, and he just hit the ball like that.
He's really long. His arms are long. He jumps well, and he hits the ball at a really high point. He's got a real whip of an arm, we'd like to say, because it's quick. It's very efficient.
Getting crafty is Sander, but well picked up. Crabb in transition. No way, the left hand somehow manages to get that back. He fakes the block and earns the dig. Crabb. Up and over the top, the 49ers at it yet again, going head-to-head at the net.
Kyle Friend getting a lot of opportunities on that play. I'd like to see him come aggressive instead of shoot those first couple of balls, because this is a team that if you roll the ball at them, they're going to get that ball up. This was quite the play. There's the shot for the point. Doesn't get that. Then there's a joust, and he has another opportunity right here. Doesn't put it away with the open net, and fortunately for Kyle Friend, he gets a third opportunity. That's not going to happen very often.
No, not with this team of Taylor and Taylor. 12-9. Brewster taking a knee, talking to his partner Kyle Friend. Now, we mentioned both of their matches. Uh-oh. Going to three, it looks like Kyle Friend's getting his fingers checked out. Maybe he got one busted.
On the outer courts, Hagen Smith and Jake Dietrich lead 1-7 over D. Lee, David Lee, and Reed Pretty. 7-7, set number 2. On court number 2, Randy Wilkerson, Melissa Kumana-Perez are up 1-0, leading 18-14 in the second.
So he's getting checked out by our med staff, trying to take care of that hand. But we mentioned that the 3-set victories for Brewster and Friend. Crabb and Sander also had a 3-setter. That was against Phil and Casey, where they took the win, 21-17, 18-21, 15-13. That was to get them into this quarterfinal. All those great jump numbers coming to you from Connexon. Taylor Sander, I mentioned multiple times, one of the best jumpers out here. Give you a little context as to just how high that really is. In terms of Gold Series standings, here's a look at Brunner and Schulk, who have already clinched a top 4 spot, even though they have lost here in Chicago and are now eliminated. Lotman, Partain, Bourne, Crabb, and Sander are in that 4 spot in terms of their standings heading into Phoenix. But right now, they're all still, again, trying to jockey and see who's going to end up solidified into those top 4 spots. Then you have 2 additional wild cards that will come. And, of course, those Phoenix championships, the 23rd and 24th. Crabb and Sander now back out on the sand. And I mentioned the jump ability of Taylor Sander. He has a hang time, get this, because we talked about those Connexon. 0.81 of a second is his hang time. So nearly a second of hang time. That's crazy. That's, by the way, second on tour. Only to Andy Benish, who's at 0.83.
Using the equipment, sharp angle Taylor Crabb.
13-9 now, Crabb and Sander out of the timeout. Option for Friend, and he just mishits it off the wrist.
Yeah, you can't force the option right there. No one up at the net. Just take your time, get on top of the ball, but keep playing aggressive. And that's what they're doing right there. Got to roll the dice, but 5-point deficit. It's tough.
Jeez, that arm is like a whip. So long.
Lightning quick.
10-14 now. Brewster cleaning off the glasses. Unloading is Taylor Crabb. An additional point on the board.
They look sharp right now. Taylor and Taylor doing their thing. They're in the right positions. They look patient, and they have a level of intensity.
Friend snaps one. You could hear that just off the hand of Friend.
Yeah, real nice arm swing by Kyle Friend right there. Beat it past the right arm of Taylor Sander, and it was a low hit, but it was quick enough to get around the block.
These two played together in Wapaka this year, taking second. That's Friend and Brewster.
Yeah, what makes that last play so difficult, when it's passed by Sander, it's got this backspin on it, and then when you hit the ball, you almost have to reverse the spin. If you don't get that reverse spin action, the ball ends up flying long.
Saw the hitting errors on the screen. Big block, Kyle Friend. Is it a monster block?
3 straight.
I think it is.
15 at the side.
I think we're the ones that get to decide.
That was high up near the penthouse right there. It looked like Sander was trying to bounce that ball, and great blocking form by Friend.
Kyle Friend, 6'5". Showing some frustration there, missing that serve just long.
Yeah, but they're clawing their way back here. If they can get a side out, they're at 14-16, and they're just a couple of aces or blocks away from tying it up.
Wow. They got some help from the net right there, because Taylor Sander put some wicked pace on that ball. Slowed down by the net.
He really did. He ripped that one.
He ripped that. 8-4 for Brewster and Friend. These two back in Manhattan Beach. Didn't necessarily have the tournament they were looking for. Finished with a 25th. Played in a Tour Series event in Virginia Beach last week. Finished with a 3rd. Another block for Friend. Great save, and Brewster's all over it. 2 steps, and the put away for Brewster.
That aggression every single time coming from Brewster and Friend has been the difference. And there it is right there. They get the side out. Now they score a point. They're just 1 point away. Check out this high block by Friend. Almost goes down. Nice hustle by Sander. And then the short drop shot. Brewster's all over it. Nice patience by Friend. And then the detonation by Brewster. Too much to handle. Ricochets out of bounds.
So now just a 1 point game. Crabb and Sander called a timeout, trying to slow the rhythm and momentum on the other side. And yet again, they kind of assume this position each and every time. They go head to head, have the conversation. Brewster taking a knee underneath that umbrella. And there is our guy up in the booth as well, Rich Lamborn, coaching this duo. Also coached Jake and Taylor for years.
Yeah, I wonder what he's telling them right there, because remember, Cameron, the score was 14-9. It was 14-9. It's now 16-15. That's pretty incredible right there. 6-2 run, and they're right back in it.
What would you be saying?
Just settle down,
you know. Big breath.
Yeah, settle down. And it's interesting, right? Taylor Sander's been blocked a couple times, right? And right there, he just bangs through again. It's dangerous, right? You're rolling the dice. You sometimes can't just hit your way out.
No, that's a great point. Again, that's the expertise of back-to-back national coaching champion. He's got another national championship to his name, too. As a player, Dane Blanton over at USC. Also Olympic gold medal.
So I think the shirt off move by Sander worked. It worked. He's
Coming out of the timeout.
He's trying to switch it up.
It was restrictive, all right?
Yep.
Last match, Casey Patterson put his hat on, and then they won. Something there. Oh, whoa. Taylor Crabb is so good at the wrist away, and it almost looked like the defense started to shift that direction, expecting it, but he goes, oh no, I show you one thing, I'm gonna give you another. 19-15. Crabb and Sander back out of that timeout. Have been solid.
That's funny. So many players have different superstitions, right? You know, sometimes you got to switch things up, whether it's taking your shirt off, whether it's adding a hat or an accessory, switching glasses sometimes, whatever works, right?
Did you have one?
Well, I'll tell you what, in the Olympics in 2000, we were issued a ton of uniforms, right?
Yeah.
We won our first match with a certain uniform. we never used any other uniform.
Are you serious?
The whole rest of the tournament.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so, you know, there's something to be said. If something's working, you want to keep it going. If it's not, switch it up.
Surprise Fenoy kept his shirt on, known as the body. I guess you have to at the Olympics, though, right?
Right. He was restricted.
Dane also picking up 2 titles here in Chicago back in 2003 and 2004, alongside Jeff Nygaard. You like to win in this place.
Yeah, I used to. This was my favorite tournament. I love Chicago, and it's a lot of fun. The city's so great. It's amazing restaurants.
Great pizza.
And we come here at the perfect weather every year.
Tough serve, but well handled from Kyle Friend. And he finds and pegs the left shoulder of the bug.
There's some heavy heat out on that court right now. All 4 players really bringing it. If you flinch for a second, it could be dangerous down there.
Still set point. By the way, Brewster and Friend have yet to make an AVP semifinal outside the Tour Series. And there's set number 1 for Crabb and Sander, 21-18. They fought off a little bit of a scary moment there coming out of the timeout. Showed up, 21-18, set number 1.
Those radio gym shorts that you have from college, they're done. Get them out of here. It's time to upgrade your short game with the one from Fabletics, man.
We love them. Your girlfriend will be stealing these. They're the best.
This fabric fixes another major issue, fit.
It's got this crazy stretch to it that looks so cute when I do my yoga or errands or like literally anything. They're the most comfortable, best feeling, luxe-tastic fabric that we have ever worn.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
2:30 here on the shores of Lake Michigan as we are about ready to get the second set underway for men's quarterfinal action. quick look at the numbers, but here's a look at the beautiful Lake Michigan in our stadium court. That's the VIP section. And there's the look at the numbers from set number 1. Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Bland. Crabb, Sander picking up set 1.
They were aggressive. Both sides were aggressive, right? But some of the broken plays were won by Crabb and Sander, and really that was the difference. The blocking up at the net, I like what I've seen from Kyle Friend as well as Taylor Sander. And both of them also have been taking risks offensively, really challenging the block, and I think we're going to see more of that. Who can get more blocks at the net, though, could be the difference.
Come on, come on.
Well, that one is untouchable in terms of block. Crabb, Sander first on the board. Now the other side of the quarterfinals bracket got the number 3 versus number 2. That's Lotman Partain versus Bourne and Crabb. That will be here on Stadium Court.
Brewster just challenging cross court. Usually Taylor Crabb, not a guy you want to challenge. He's a great defender, loves that heat coming right out his face, but he can't handle that one.
What a touch from Friend. Can he get there? Score is stable, no worries. And yeah, that's not only touch, but great execution and strategy off the hand of Brewster.
That was nice.
That was awesome.
That was exhibiting that finesse, that poke shot, and just kissed the top of the net and trickled over.
Soft platform from Crabb, but you said blocks to start off set number 2. There's Kyle Friend, first and second set.
He's really locked in on his timing. Look at it, he gets to the net, nice and relaxed, and then he's peeking right over the net with that jump when that ball is contacted.
It's the first stuff block for Kyle Friend. Ooh, that's butter.
Oh, I think he got it.
Oh, and Sander said he didn't.
I think he got that.
But now they're going to have a conversation. Let's take a look at it. Sorry, we were all in awe of that set because the pass was well above the height of the flag up there. They're going to replay it as the touch was called.
You know, yeah, I like that call right there. Did you think there was a touch? It's hard to tell, right?
So hard to tell.
I don't think.
It's hard to tell if that ball ricocheted off the net, maybe hit Sander. Sander still adamant that he did not touch it. Shaking his head now as he gets back into serve receive.
There's that seam ball right to the right of Kyle Friend, and another risky hit. But
it seemed like a different arm slot for Sander. A little bit lower. You know what I'm talking about? Am I crazy there?
Yeah, he let it drop a little because I think it was in front of his body on his left side, and that ball goes out of bounds, and wow, there's a touch. Oh, that's something right there when you can't get
out of the way
in time. Oh my gosh.
3-all. It's so fast. It's like gotta become Keanu.
Good matrix move.
4-3.
Yeah, that is impressive if you can pick someone off with a jump serve and they don't have time to get out of the way.
See the distance traveled between these two teams. Contenders bracket action still happening. Pokey set and another block. Kyle Crabb is all smiles.
And he got a second opportunity, right? He had an opportunity to put it away right here with a poke. You got to go deeper with that one. And then look at that. He gets up, makes up for it with a stuff down. And as soon as Sander hit it, he knew he was in trouble.
Brewster, well read.
Brewster with the kill, 6-3.
And that was a little bit of an interesting angle there for Brewster. He hit that.
It was sharp. It was extremely sharp. And, you know, a lot of balls are going in the direction of Taylor Crabb, and he's getting his hand on all these hits, but he's unable to control them right now.
It's going to be interesting. He turns one or two of those. Starts getting a little bit more of a rhythm. Working to the right.
The ball's out of bounds, and there's no touch.
Out of bounds, asking for the touch.
About that one as well.
He hit that ball directly out of bounds. From our angle, we had a pretty good angle. Let's take a look at it here. Here's the set. And let's see if there's any touch on the block.
Usually you'd see that right hand pull back. I didn't see that. It looked like it was still going forwards. You know what I mean? Because you could clearly see his right pinky, but nice job by our crew getting that angle.
That's a tough call.
It is so hard. Especially when these guys are hitting the ball that hard. There's some depth on that swing.
Yeah. Crabb letting Brewster know that he's got some heat of his own right there, turning up the notch and the dial. Just a few notches. Nobody holding back in this one. It seems like Friend and Brewster putting the ball in just that perfect spot because the Taylors are on it. They just can't just quite get it over the net.
They got to feel like it's so within reach. 9 kills, 1 error, 3 blocks now, and 4 controls. So Kyle Friend's been getting his hand on him. They've just kind of been coming back up. Apart from those last 2 he's now had in set 2. Net violation, and to your point, Dane's land. Perfect dig. It always happens.
It's crazy how that always happens.
3 hitting errors to 0 here in set number 2. Are you serious? Couple one-handed plays on both sides of the net. Free ball, Sander, no one at the net, and get in. Yikes. That made me nervous for Crabb and Sander. It was a free ball to an open net.
Complete free ball right there, and that's where you have to have patience within the game. You have to slow down. Here's a good look right here. Nice run by Taylor Sander to get this ball up and playable. And it's a free ball situation right here, but they kind of panicked and weren't sure if they were going to go on 2 with an option or play a conventional on 3, and they caught themselves in between.
Tempo. Lefty out of the middle. It's kind of fun to see that. What, 1.5 set? Maybe 2 feet above the height of the net. VIP section packed, as are our grandstands. Every umbrella here on Stadium Court has been filled. That's a high ball for Mr. Taylor Crabb. 9 kills, and that's, I don't think I've seen that type of efficiency from him. Below 300. 11 digs.
Yeah, his efficiency is always really high. You're absolutely right. You know, it's because of the pressure that's being put on right now.
Out of Los Angeles, California, it'll be Kyle Friend.
In terms of a round table for all 4 of these athletes, in terms of their efficiency, Brewster's at 381, Friend at 389, Sander at 462, and Crabb at 240.
smart shot.
You like that?
Yeah, I was thinking, is he going to keep hitting and challenging?
Ninth kill for Taylor Sander. And again, Crabb up at the net.
Jeez. Unleashing right there. It's just about, what, 2 feet long, maybe? Your reaction time has to be so quick.
These two have made a few finals here in 2022. Right now, they're looking to make a semifinal in Chicago. Starting to turn points now, 2-point differential. Crabb and Sander on the season. You look back to Austin where they finished 5th. New Orleans, they made the final with a loss. Then again in Hermosa Beach, final appearance. Nice shot there by Friend. Then they went on to Fort Lauderdale, lost in a semifinal. Atlanta was a 7th place finish and another loss in the semifinal in Manhattan Beach. So they have been very, very close.
Both these teams will be playing tomorrow. The loser in this match will play.
Rich Lamborn going to have a conversation in the technical timeout. So if you're taking 2 of the 3 best Gold Series finishes right now, that would be a 3rd in Manhattan Beach for them, as well as you think back that Atlanta, that's a 7th, so they're looking to better that. And of course, it's time to make your Gold Series Chicago Open predictions on Valley Play's AVP Predictor game and take your shot to win 6 VIP tickets to the championships in Phoenix. Scan the QR code right now on the screen, or you can of course go to valleyplay.com/AVP to make those predictions. If you get it right, well, you win a free VIP package to the championships. Get your picks in now. Of course, those championships, September 23rd and 24th in Phoenix. Will be an indoor event. It's going to add a little bit of a different element. If you're curious as to all the scenarios and how they might unfold, you can head to this URL on the bottom of your screen. Mark Sherman putting a massive 10-page document together that outlines exactly what could take place. One of those interesting ones, or an interesting note, Doug Strauss, our statistician, just handed me is actually in regards to Theo Brunner and Kame Schalk as they walk away from Chicago with a 9th place finish. That's actually the lowest a top seed has finished since 2007, back in Dallas.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, they're consistent. They usually don't have these blips, but they did this weekend, and it's kind of inevitable. Every once in a while, you're going to have that happen, but they'll be all right. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. Let's look at Friend and Sander. They're vertical, 31 inches for Sander. Just to give you some context, you put that on the indoor court. On the hardwood, you're adding at least maybe what, 5 inches?
Yeah, I'd say 5 to 7 maybe. You know, it's tough to jump in the sand. Every time it's an uneven surface. It is way more forgiving than indoor, and that's why I think you see a lot of players playing into their 40s because their joints are in such better shape than if they were playing on the hardwood all the time. And any player will tell you that.
Yeah, we got to see whether it was John Hyden out here, Ed Routledge was competing. We even had Reed Pretty back out on the sand. Elongating the career. Open net. Brewster, where was Sander?
I like that play. It was strategic. They decided to go 2 back and try to play some defense, and it almost forced Brewster to bring it. If that set wasn't in the right spot, then the Taylors would have had an advantage. It was a risk, but I really like it.
Interesting. 7 kills on 8 attacks for Brewster here in set number 2. And again, that wild angle, the lefty on the left side.
Yeah, he's kind of getting around the left side of the ball and getting side spin on it, so it's curving away from Taylor Crabb as he tries to dig it. It's interesting.
Isn't it? I mean, I just think in my brains, I'm coming from the indoor side, I'm going a lefty on the left side. It's got to be hard for him to hit the ball down the line, right?
No. Well, I mean, it's like a righty on the right. Same thing, right? So
you just have to get yourself into a posture to be able to do so.
Yeah, but are you saying that he's hitting angle?
I'm just saying he's hitting that angle so sharp, and it's over and over. I would imagine you'd want to shift that direction as you take a look at the White Claw pure spike of the day. That one is the ball off of Brewster on the open net. Again, that's your White Claw pure spike of the day. I just mean in terms of managing your defense and the probability. I don't think we've seen him hit down the line from the left side at this point.
Yeah, he really hasn't.
He's gone with that sharp angle.
Yeah, he'll shoot it deep to that corner. But the crazy thing is Taylor Crabb's playing the angle.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's somehow getting his ball to, his hand to the outside of it, and it's really a fantastic shot, but the level of difficulty is off the chart.
Exactly. It's a great description, because that angle is, I don't know what, that's probably 3 feet from the actual net.
Yeah. I think Taylor Crabb's trying to figure it out.
Crabb's also taken off the shirt. It worked the first time.
It's a power-up move. You get to level up when you remove an accessory.
16-12.
Gosh, I never had hands like that. I mean, you're taking that ball from about 20 feet in the air with a ton of spin, and Kyle Friend not even flinching.
And I think that's the second one we've kind of gasped at in its beauty.
So nice. There's so many great setters now. It's almost just become commonplace.
What a get from Brewster.
Oh, that is such a panic play right there. That's happened a few times for this team. You have to be patient within the play. And right there, Kyle Friend just got too excited too quickly. A beautiful dig by Brewster. The Taylors are in trouble. Here comes the ball over the net, and Friend is in no position to make the play there. You gotta use your 3 contacts.
Showing the range. 12 attacks for Brewster, 5 for Friend here in set 2. You can see the numbers. He's errorless, is Brewster, as he finds his double-digit kill in set 2. Had several matches go to 3 sets. Actually, on the men's side, of the 19 matches played to this point, 9 of them were sweeps, 10 of them have gone to 3 sets. He tried to do it in a different way.
A rare error, right, by Tim Brewster right there. He's just been the model of consistency, and that ball just dropped a little bit quick on it.
Pace off.
Backspin again. We saw Taylor Crabb victim to the backspin pass, and just there, Kyle Friend, you got to be really aware that ball's spinning back, and then you have to reverse the spin of it and get on top of the ball. He wasn't able to do it. It ends up just 1.5 feet long, so the pressure started to mount.
Any tricks to try and actually do that for those that maybe have that in their game or trying to do?
No, you just have to be very conscious of it. It's just like if you're passing a ball with a ton of spin on it, you have to try to reverse the spin. If you try to do it like you normally do, there's just too much on it, and the ball's gone. Yeah, it's just gone. So we've seen it happen. It's not an easy play. It's easy from the booth, but it's not easy when you're down there.
Everything's easy from the booth. So 18-16 in Chicago, you've mentioned multiple times, one of our favorite stops on the tour. There's so much history here. It started back in 1984. I mean, look at how packed this beach is right now. It's a 20 event for the women, the 32nd for the men. The very first champion was, well, of course, Hovland and Dodd, Budding and Patterson, who won just a year ago. Karchkarai in 1999. That was his 140th to become the #1 all-time in terms of wins. John Hyden, the oldest to win at 44 years old back in 2017. That was alongside Ryan Doherty. Chang and Hughes were the youngest to win back in 2017. Dane Blanton winning in 2003 and 2004. I feel like, Scotty, we got to add that to the graphic just for the heck of it.
Oh, look at this control block by Taylor Crabb. What was he doing at the net?
That's out of bounds. We're going to switch sides. It's a 1-point.
17-18. It's a 1-point game.
Wow. What a great play by Taylor Crabb. Blocking, soft block, then running it down, keeping it in play. And right now, pressure building. This is quite the comeback from the Taylors.
And from the timeout where Crabb took off his shirt. Remember, that was the same thing in set 1. It was Sander. We're going back to the uniforms. There's a lot of superstition in sport. And so far, it's kind of coming true. All of a sudden, we're back to a tied ball game.
Tied 18-18.
Wow. Just a moment ago, I believe it was 18-14 or 18-15. And Crabb and Sander were down, and they have just put all sorts of pressure across the net.
A nice cool breeze coming into the stadium court here. Just in time, can Brewster find a side out? Pull dig again. Brewster's on it. We've seen multiple jousts. Such a smart play from Taylor Crabb. He's got to find one more dig. He does. He's in the angle. And the finesse, inches away was Taylor Crabb. Brewster and friend catching their breath. 19-18.
You know, how crazy is that rally right there? Taylor Crabb almost had a perfect rally, right? Almost every contact was perfect. He made the right decision. He dropped. He didn't panic on that overpass, decided to use 3 contacts. And then finally at the end, the shot down the line was costly. But look at this right here. Here's the set, back. And here he comes down the line. It's wide open. He knows it's the right shot, but he tries to make it too pinpoint and just an inch, I think an inch wide.
An inch from perfection. Can he get it dialed back in? Brewster, soft platform. And oh, the grimace from Taylor Sander. He's in the net, and the dig is up.
And that's all it takes. If you jump not balanced as you're moving, it's hard to stop that momentum, and he ended up in the net. I think on the turn, he knew his partner was going to dig it, so didn't feel good about that.
Will it be another 3-setter? Yes! Friend with the block.
That was impressive right there, straight down. That was the best block of the match so far, no question about it. Look at his timing. He waits patiently, hands up and pressing over the net at just the right time, and Taylor Crabb knew it right when he hit it.
So another 3-setter. The 11th in the men's draw. As you take a look at our set 2 stats, Brewster and Friend continue to climb. The last time these two teams met, it went 3. It went all the way to 18-16. Brewster and Friend with the victory. Who will take home that 3rd set and move on to the semifinals? Find out right after this.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo.
Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor is coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, the enemy is within. Some people want it, some wish for it, but others make it happen.
Trying Trevor, super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
Stadium Court is pumping because it's men's quarterfinal action. We're about to get into set number 3 between friend Brewster, Crabb, and Sander. It's a Taylor gang versus the number 9 seed. This crowd, yeah, raise the roof, or the figurative one, why not? As friend and Brewster just picked up set number 2 with a nice and timely block from Kyle Friend to close it out. Looking through the numbers right now, Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton, the one again that still stands out. Dane, Taylor Crabb is hitting 162.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's
through the match.
That's extremely low for him.
Heads up, incoming. We might need to consider that woman's defensive skill over there.
Yeah, off her back.
Probably not the best platform.
Oh, what an effort right there by Kyle Friend. Falling, the little waterfall shot over his head. Most players wouldn't even get a hand on that. He almost reeled it in.
So Dan, I'll give you one more stat from Doug Strauss as we are now into set number 3, the 11th on the men's side. Team who has won the first set, 13-6 in terms of taking home the overall victory.
Pays to win the first set.
Crabb and Sander doing so in this quarterfinal matchup. It is double elimination. This is the winner's bracket. So the loser will still be alive here in Chicago.
Tim Brewster continues to impress offensively, really giving the Taylors fits. They just can't get a beat on what he's going to do.
If they win and make it to a semifinal, that would be the best finish for both Friend and Brewster in their career. Even just getting to that semifinal, at least away from the Tour Series events. It's our Pro Series and Gold Series. 2 apiece. Brewster. That ended up well on his right side. Played a 15, switch every 5. We've been going the distance for a little while now. The last quarterfinal was women's action. Cheng and Flint picking up the victory in 3 sets over Hughes and Kolinsky. Yesterday was a lot of 2-set wins here on Stadium. Not quite the equation today. Survival Saturday. Overhead, well played out of the net. Oh, perfect. And another great stab. Sander flexes down, fist pumps to the crowd. He's feeling it. Couple great plays from the blocker defensively.
Yeah, this is impressive right here. Here's the drop shot that Sander somehow stabs his left hand at, and Taylor Crabb gets it in hitting position, and Sander is pumped up right now. There's no question about it. Love the passion.
Brewster. Like the Statue of Liberty.
Really smart shot. That's the thing. Brewster, just 22 years of age. He won the 2017 USAV Beach High Performance U19s with John Schwengel, and he's mature beyond his years when it comes to decision making out on the court. There's no question about it.
It's a great point. So how does that happen at such a young age? Is it just experience playing in tournaments and matches?
And just kind of being a beach rat and playing a lot of volleyball, and just kind of knowing that volleyball IQ being raised up there. And He's making some fantastic decisions. Usually when he makes an error, it's not a mental error, it's usually a physical error. You know, maybe the set's too low or maybe the footing was off. But from a mental standpoint, he's locked in.
5-4. Excuse me, 4-5. And now it's just become normalcy, right? Like, typically if we saw somebody unload like that on the beach, we'd be like, every time you'd gasp and just be in complete awe. But this has become the norm for Taylor Sander.
I think more importantly, you're right, we kind of get numb to some of these hits because they're so spectacular and they kind of keep on coming. But you got to be careful too. He's bringing in expending a lot of energy, with a lot of celebration afterwards. Smart decision to go over there.
Yeah, and confident as well. Kyle Friend.
And more importantly, you know, he committed to it, right?
Yeah.
There was no hesitation.
It's a great point. 5-6. Keeping it close. Is it time for a Kyle Friend block?
Oh, what's...
Yes, it is!
Wow. Nostradamus is finished.
I don't know why. I just felt it coming.
You were feeling it.
6-6.
You called it right here, and that set's actually off the net.
And he still stayed.
Stayed up. Listen to you.
I've been calling a few too many volleyball matches. 7-6. Crabb and Sander, nice side out. Good court vision.
1 point lead for the Taylors.
Look at that view. Man, it's never a rough day at the beach, right? Oh, the net not giving him much help there. Kind of just barely popped out. Sander, 18. Has 12 on those 18, 2 errors, 3 blocks. That's a pretty phenomenal stat line. He's leading right now at an efficiency of 556. Brewster and Friend down by 2. Take a timeout. Taylor Crabb, though, man, 16 digs. So even though the efficiency might not be there for him in terms of his offense, his defense is showing up. This is, of course, the Chicago Open. Take a look now at your winners bracket. Brewster, Friend versus Crabb and Sander. That's what we've been witnessing. Lotman, Partain, Bourne, and Crabb. That's going to be on Stadium Court as well. Again, this is winners bracket action, double elimination tournament. So the losers of these matches will get a chance to stay alive, play through that elimination bracket. Yet again, speaking of that elimination bracket, we've got Phil and Casey right now on court 2, facing off against Chase and Troy. That's Chase Budinger and Troy Field. And get this, Chase and Troy took the first set, 21-14. The number 6 seed versus the number 5 out there now in set 2 action. We've also got Tina Gradina, Sarah Pavin, Kim Hildreth, as well as Kaya Marciniak in women's contender bracket action in first set. It's on court 1.
Halfway through.
That's a good place to be in. Sorry, I'm just going back looking at Kim Hildreth and Kaya Marciniak, even though they trail in set 1. That's the number 14 seed playing tough in the elimination bracket.
Yeah, everybody kind of keeping an eye on Tina Gradina and Sarah Pavin. A unique matchup. Usually both of them are full-time blockers, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. Remember, Tina Gradina winning an event in Fort Lauderdale with Haley Harward, and obviously the news of Pavin and Melissa Umana Paredes breaking up, that's going to send some shockwaves around and some partner stuff.
Oh, without a doubt. Again, maintaining that 2-point advantage are Crabb and Sander. Quick turn from Brewster. I like it. Brewster doesn't really even celebrate. It's just become normal for him in the same regard. Put a ball away, turn, go back to your next job.
And who's like that as well? Miles Partain.
Yep.
Very businesslike.
Yep. Okay, that was pretty. His wrist showed that he was going that direction towards the right where Tim Brewster was playing defense, and right at the last second he turned it back the other way. I know you mentioned Humana Paredes playing alongside Wilkerson. They're going to be soon out on court 2 versus Quiggle and Skirmerhorn in the back draw as well. From the right, what a seam. I mean, I think he took off and landed about 4 or 5 feet from where he took off.
Well, the thing that Brewster has is he has a huge double arm lift and he has a huge step close. His last 2 steps are lightning. He gets under the ball, positions himself well, and then we've talked about it at length, his whip of an arm.
Oh, up and over. Heads up play from Taylor Crabb.
Brewster was on the run there, I think, expecting the short drop shot, and that's the chance you take. Sometimes you got to gamble. Sometimes you're going to be moving when the ball's contacted, and you're maybe taking just a certain area, but as soon as that ball was rolled, Brewster knew he'd been had.
Wow, look at those numbers. From set 1, set 2, and set 3, those are the team hitting efficiencies. Crabb and Sander doing some damage here in set number 3.
Correlation is spot on, right?
Oh, yeah.
You win that hitting efficiency, and you're going to usually win the set.
That was an interesting play.
You think it was a joust?
No, I think it was the right call.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, the fact that Taylor Sander went to push and then the ball went off of his hands and out.
Crabb and Sander right now having a discussion, trying to figure out if they want to take a timeout. Sander shaking it off, saying not yet, partner. 1 point. Oh my goodness. Brewster almost just got decapitated. Oh my.
He kind of threw his shoulder at it, didn't really flinch. That ball's coming right at him. He's wanting to dig this underhand, and that's why you always want to have your hands in neutral.
What a set from Brewster. Wow. Both these teams continue to level up. The serve from the side of Crabb and Sander was a thing of beauty. Take a look at this. There's the set, though.
So nice. Just rolled it right above his head, and he knew that's court awareness, you know?
Without a doubt. Still down by 1. Crabb and Sander in the position just to continue to side out for the win. Looking for a touch, and still it's going to be a no. And the opportunity still remains at 12 apiece. They could side out for the win.
Hey, you saw, you got no argument from Sander. He knew he mishit that ball.
Uh-oh, 13-12. We have a lead change.
That was a gutsy play going on 2 by Kyle Friend when Brewster was wound up and ready to come in offensively, but it ends up being the right call.
Oh, and you got me choked up a little bit. All right, so 13-12. You got Rich Lamborn under the umbrella. What do you think the conversation's like?
I think, you know, very similar to what we were talking about earlier. Just take a deep breath, calm down, and do what you do best. Look at those efficiencies, though. 667 versus 538. Really high level here in this third set. I think all 4 players have saved the best for last.
Yeah, and you're right. Looking at just third set efficiencies alone, it is 556 for Brewster. Friend is batting 1,000, 3 for 3. Crabb has definitely upped his play, hitting 625. He's 6 of 8 with 1 error. Sander, 3 of 5, hitting 400. And it's interesting because there at times have been a few moments of panic. We've noted them, but we've also noted some of the plays from Kyle Friend where he has shown complete and utter confidence going for some big-time plays.
Yeah, you're right, and that's what you're going to get because, you know, Kyle Friend is still getting better. He's still getting better, still learning. So is Brewster at just 22 years of age. You're going to make some errors here and there. It's tough to make the right decision all the time, and I think they've done a fantastic job so far.
13-12. And you knew that was coming.
Friend and Brewster, they're in the driver's seat right now. This is kind of where you want to be, receiving serve at 13 all.
Brewster for 14. And it's out of bounds. 14-13. They have match ball with the serve. Kyle Friend comfortable at the net. Brewster playing defense.
Match point for Brewster and Friend.
Looking for a semifinal. They go to Crabb. Ice water in his veins. The waterfall over the top of the block.
Yeah, that is not an easy shot to execute, especially when you have Kyle Friend, who's very good at the turn and burn. You saw him land, turn, explode, and he almost got that ball up in the air.
Clearing up the divots. From the left, coming up with it. Another shot for Brewster. And the second chance opportunity. Friend is pumped yet again.
Wow, Brewster is cool, he's calm, he's definitely collected, just not even flinching right here. Sander with a beautiful save right there, keeping the ball in play, and then here comes Brewster. Just slightly gets Taylor Crabb to hold.
Another match ball. And that's what he's going to do. Sander is going to do Sander things. I like it, though. He has been attacking into the angle, and he changes up. He goes towards the line.
And it's hard. There's so much room for error when you wait for that ball to cross your body and then try to hit it down the line. And he's focused. He's locked in, and the level of difficulty is off the charts.
Can Brewster remain cool as a cucumber at 15 apiece? Because you know they're going to go to him in the side out. Quick tempo again. Is it in or is it out? Of course, Crabb and Sander are pointing their fingers to the sand.
I think it's in.
And a quick look. Brewster, a little deflated. I think you're correct. That ball is inbounds. And that is correct. If you weren't sure, I mean, we got a couple thousand people pointing to the sand as well. Yeah, just getting the outside of the line. It's match ball now the other way. Crabb and Sander. Oh, the trickle. High ball. Block for the win. Taylor Sander shuts the door.
Awesome.
17-15. The last time these two teams met, it was 18-16 in the third. It went to Brewster and Friend. Crabb and Sander switch it up with the stuffy from Sander.
You couldn't have asked for anything more if you're a fan. This was top level right here. All 4 athletes going at it, and so much velocity on the court. I mean, we saw people get picked off, duck and cover, hit balls off your shoulder. I mean, you had a little bit of everything, and now they advance to that 5th semifinal for them, and that was impressive.
There's all smiles underneath that box, that's for sure. Brewster and Friend put on one heck of a display, though, against the number 4 seed. They will, again, continue through the elimination bracket. You take a look at your match stats, and this is the second time this has happened. Look at the hitting efficiencies. 333, 343, so close. We've had incredible quarterfinals action, both on the women's and men's side up to this point here in Chicago. And guess what? It will continue on. We've got Cloth, Nuss versus Cannon and Sponsel up next on Stadium Court. Here's a look, though, at your men's winners bracket. Crabb and Sander now highlighted. So after your women's quarterfinal that's now getting warmed up, you will also have that Lotman Partain versus Bourne and Crabb to close out our day here in Chicago. We've got 2 more from Stadium Court. We can't wait to have you with us.